Hi, welcome to yet another exciting episode of All About Football World. And our panel today, Louis, Sam and JV. A lot has been happening internationally and locally. We just want to find out from our cast, what do you guys think of the scene lately?
Oh, well, a lot of things has been happening. You're right, Hayden. I mean, match fixing, one of the big ones, because half of the Safa staff, especially the top guys, they've been involved heavily in the match fixing where they were banned. We even had our Safa president, Kirsten Namatandani, he was banned and reinstated again. I mean, it's a problem all over the world, and it just puts a very, very bad damper on our football as a whole. I think it's bad. Sam?
I agree, Louis. But this issue isn't only for local teams, it's also international. You could take a look at Juventus when they were deducted points for match fixing. It was a very shameful event, and it was just horrible for a team that had such high spirits and fans all over the world to be caught match fixing.
This is a huge problem, so we need to check if this only starts now, what's been happening all along since the 90s, the 80s, the 50s. So it's a huge problem, so we need to check and stop being greedy. Not me personally, okay, but then we have to check with our officials, our officials, our organizations, our FIFA, our SAFA, the huge guys. So it needs to be more of selflessness and more of the love of the game. Hayden, this is what I think about. What do you think about it?
Yes, JV, I think that, in football, match fixing, it'll happen. But it doesn't just happen in football, it also happens in sports like rugby and cricket. But in cricket, we'll talk about Hansi Cronje, Shane Warne, recently the Pakistani team, which had 3 players doing match fixing. These are very serious allegations and they got proven in court. Things like this don't go away. It'll scar the team and give the sport a really bad name. But I don't really like the match fixing topic. I think it's rather a heavy discussion, a far more lengthier discussion. Guys, on a lighter note, what do you want to talk about?
On a more positive note, or depends how you see it, the Champions League is in its quarterfinal stages, and surprisingly enough, there are no English teams. This has never happened before. It's quite bad for the English Premiership as a whole. But I think it's good in the sense that other teams are coming up, like the Malagas of this world and the Borussia Dortmunds of this world. Other teams from other countries are gaining centre stage, and it's nice to have a nice and diverse Champions League quarter-final stage where other teams from other countries that you don't expect are in the last 8 of this prestigious competition. It's quite nice because English teams have been dominating the UEFA Champions League for a long time. If they're not in the final, they're in quarterfinals. It's known. It makes for a nice surprise for the world game because we get to see other teams from other countries. It's quite good. But the English teams have had their fair share of problems, and it's just been unfortunate for them.
Well, Louis, yes, I do agree with what you've said. Each of these British teams have individual issues that they need to sort out. With Man United, we have Alex Ferguson, who hasn't bought a decent player since Ronaldo left, with the exception of Van Persie. And with Arsenal, the whole team is just comprised of young players, and it can be a good thing, but it's just not working in Arsenal's favour for now. They need to reconsider their lineup. With Man City, they have all these new players that they've bought, but the problem is these players aren't experienced enough in the UEFA League. I think that they really do got to knuckle down on their training. And also, Man City they were thrown into a hard pool to begin with Madrid and all that. And finally, we have Chelsea. As a Chelsea supporter myself, I am very disappointed to find the first defending champions did not make it past the group stages. The team does have internal issues of its own, big issues. I mean, they go through managers like candy.
So on another light topic locally, because we're playing during the weekend, and they're playing against Bloemfontein Celtics, and we're playing away from home in Bloemfontein, obviously. And they had a great game. They were 1-0 up during halftime. In the second half, they introduced Jostadlaza. Jostadlaza played very well, scored a goal for himself as well, gave great dimension to the game, to the team, in fact, rather. So it was a great game overall, and it was a boost for the team, you know, because they were 7 points ahead of Orlando Pirates. So yeah, obviously winning the league.
And our favorite part of the day, player discussions. The first player on our list today is Philippe Coutinho. The young Brazilian has taken the Premier League by storm ever since signing for Liverpool for 8.5 million. The guy has got 4 assists and 2 goals so far, just playing 350 minutes of Premier League football. That is taking it by storm. Also, I need to pick up like Brazilians. They've really given the Premier League flair. If you look at someone like Oscar, he's also giving his own individual brilliance towards the Premier League. You look at those two players, they're young, they're coming through, they're really providing a lot of samba flair. I think it's absolutely brilliant that the Premier League gets to witness something like this. You know, like if we had to take your regular English player and your Brazilian player, you'd say that English player is more structured, Brazilian's more skillful. I like the skillful watch, and I think a lot of people do, which is why Brazilians are good for the Premier League. Another player that we like to talk about is Demba Ba. Sam, you want to talk about Demba Ba?
We have Demba Ba, a wonderful player. In his last match against Manchester United, he scored the only goal, but it was a perfect goal. Accompanied by Mata's perfect pass. Perfect timing, it was amazing. No defender could intercept the ball with that pass. It was really a goal for the books. Wonderful, wonderful. With Demba as well, he's been such an asset to the team since joining them, and he's got a good relationship with the manager, which is beneficial for the team overall, and he's a gold player, he's an A-grade player.
Yeah, absolutely, Sam. Demba has been a very good acquisition for Chelsea. He's got a lot of goals, but personally, I think it's been largely due to the service that he's got, because as a striker, I feel you're as good as the service you get. Which brings me to my favourite player from Chelsea, which is Juan Mata, who's been running that midfield for Chelsea and really supplying the strikers and really making a difference. I mean, I still find it hard to believe that Juan Mata does not make the first team in the Spanish team, but that's another topic for another day. I feel he just really gives Chelsea an edge over most teams.
Okay, this week it has to be Simphiwe Tshabalala. Simphiwe Tshabalala played very well during the Bloemfontein and Kaizer Chiefs match. Even got man of the match for that game and even scored a goal. It's a bit good for his career as well, because he hasn't been scoring goals, he hasn't been performing to his ability. But then this week he proved himself that he can still do it and be the best in the game.
Thanks again for watching our fantastic show. I thoroughly enjoyed it, the cast thoroughly enjoyed it. Hopefully you thoroughly enjoyed it. Please rate, comment and subscribe, it would be highly appreciated. This is all about Football World. See you again.